The Zephyrian High Command had studied humanity for 3 standard cycles before deciding on their approach. The species was young, aggressive, and expanding rapidly across their local star cluster. They needed to be contained before they became a threat to the established galactic order. "Fear is the great equalizer," declared Admiral Vextar as he addressed the assembled fleet commanders. His crystalline exoskeleton gleamed under the bridge lights of the massive dreadnought Inevitability. "Every species in the galaxy has learned to respect the natural order through fear. The humans will be no different." The plan was elegant in its simplicity. They would demonstrate their overwhelming technological superiority by destroying one of humanity's outer colonies, then demand submission. The Zephyrians had used this tactic successfully across dozens of worlds. No species had ever failed to capitulate after witnessing the complete annihilation of one of their settlements. New Horizon Colony was chosen for its isolation and relatively small population. Only 50,000 souls living on the agricultural world at the edge of human space. The attack would be swift, total, and visible to human monitoring stations throughout the sector. Captain Sarah Chen was reviewing crop rotation schedules when the first Zephyrian ships emerged from hyperspace. The sleek predatory vessels hung in the void like metallic sharks, their weapons charging with an ominous blue glow. "Unknown vessels, this is New Horizon Colony Control," she broadcast on all frequencies. "State your intentions." The response came in perfect standard English, delivered in a cold mechanical tone. "Humanity, you will witness the price of expansion. Your colony will be destroyed as a lesson. Surrender your territories and no other worlds will share this fate." Sarah looked at her communications officer, Lieutenant Torres. "Send a priority transmission to Earth Command. Full tactical data on these ships. Tell them—" She paused, watching as the alien vessels moved into bombardment formation. "Tell them we're not going down quiet." What the Zephyrians didn't understand about humans was that fear and fury often occupied the same space in their hearts, and fury had a tendency to burn brighter. Instead of panic, New Horizons colonists responded with grim determination. The mining crews rigged their industrial explosives. The farmers loaded their cargo haulers with supplies. The children were evacuated to the underground shelter complexes, while every adult who could hold a weapon took their positions. "Sir," reported Sub-Commander Krath from the Zephyrian flagship, "the humans appear to be preparing for battle." Admiral Vextar's mandibles clicked in amusement. "Let them. Their primitive weapons cannot even scratch our shields. Begin the demonstration." The first bombardment lance struck the colony's main administrative building, vaporizing it in a brilliant flash. The second destroyed the spaceport. The third took out the power grid. But instead of surrendering, the humans fought back. Cargo haulers loaded with mining charges rammed themselves into the Zephyrian vessels' hulls, their pilots screaming defiance over the comm channels even as they vaporized against the energy shields. Modified atmospheric processors launched crude projectiles that, while unable to penetrate the alien defenses, created spectacular light shows that could be seen from orbit. "What are they doing?" Vextar demanded as another human vessel exploded harmlessly against his ship's shields. "This is pointless. They cannot hurt us." "I believe, sir," Krath said hesitantly, "they are attempting to damage our vessels regardless of the futility." For 6 hours, the bombardment continued. The Zephyrians methodically destroyed every structure on New Horizon's surface, while the humans threw everything they had at the alien fleet. Not a single Zephyrian ship was damaged, but something else was happening. "Admiral," the communications officer reported, "we're receiving transmissions from throughout this sector of space. Human military vessels are converging on our position." "Impossible. Our intelligence indicated no significant military presence in this region." "Sir, I count 47 human warships incoming. 14 hours. Vexitar felt something he had not experienced in centuries of warfare. Uncertainty. 47 ships? For one colony? What he didn't understand was that humanity's communication networks had carried the final transmissions from New Horizon across dozens of star systems. Every human ship within range had changed course toward the colony, not to save it. They knew they would arrive too late, but to exact vengeance. The last transmission from New Horizon came from Captain Chen herself, broadcasting from the ruins of the colony's command center as Zephyrian bombardment lances closed in around her position. This is Captain Sarah Chen of New Horizon Colony. Population 0. We held them for 6 hours with mining equipment and cargo haulers. Imagine what we'll do with actual weapons. The transmission cut to static. Admiral Vextar stared at the empty space where the colony had been. In all his campaigns of fear, he had never encountered a species that responded to annihilation with such anger. "Sir," Krath reported, "the human fleet has arrived." The human ships emerged from hyperspace in a loose formation that spoke of hastily assembled forces, destroyers, cruisers, even converted merchant vessels bristling with improvised weapons. They should have been no match for the Zephyrian dreadnought and its escort fleet. But the humans didn't attack with tactics or strategy. They attacked with rage. Wave after wave of human vessels threw themselves at the Zephyrian fleet, with the same fury their colonist brothers had shown. Ships rammed into the alien vessels even as they died, seeking to damage the enemy through sacrifice. Fighters performed impossible maneuvers, accepting certain death for the chance to score a single hit against the alien shields. "Admiral, we need to withdraw," Krath urged as another human cruiser exploded against their hull, its final salvo actually managing to weaken their forward shields. "Our casualties are mounting." Vextar watched in growing horror as his perfectly ordered fleet was torn apart by humans who fought like creatures possessed. They showed no fear of death, no respect for superior technology, no willingness to accept defeat. "What manner of species?" he whispered. The inevitability shuddered as a human destroyer, its engines dead and hull breached, drifted into their port side and detonated every weapon in its arsenal simultaneously. The explosion finally breached the dreadnought's shields. "All ships execute hyperspace jump immediately," Vextar ordered. As the surviving Zephyrian vessels fled into the void, Sub-Commander Krath approached his superior. "Admiral, what do we report to the High Command?" Vextar stared at the tactical display showing the debris field that had once been both a human colony and half his fleet. They had come to teach humans fear, but instead had learned something far more terrifying, that some species simply refuse to be afraid. "We report," he said quietly, "that humanity is not to be provoked again. The galaxy would learn in time that there were fates worse than conquest. Being ignored was one, being forgotten was another. But being remembered by an angry human was the worst fate of all."